Hello and welcome to the CVCS Athletics Podcast. This is episode 8 and I am your host, Grady Sanchez. Today is Thursday, October 26th, and we have a great show for you today. It is playoff time here at CVCS, and there is quite the excitement here on campus. On the show today, we have the results from the week and upcoming schedule. For our interviews this week, we have Adam Juarez, the FCA representative for the school, and girls volleyball setters Addi Williams and Shauna McDowell. Thank you all for listening to the show today. As a reminder, please give CVCS Athletics Podcast a follow, a like, a subscribe, and a rating. You can find us on all major podcast streaming services such as Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Also, please visit CVCS Podcast Network website at cvcs.org/podcast for all the shows by other faculty members, chapels, and students. And now, time for the results from the week. The girls tennis team has made CIF. They are sending the number 1 doubles team comprised of junior Jacqueline Lopez and sophomore Mackenzie Carrion, and their number 1 singles player, Lahaina Beaver. Thursday last week at home, the girls volleyball team played West Ridge in the first round of CIF playoffs, and they beat them a clean 3-0. On Saturday, they followed that up with a road trip to Kennedy, and they beat Kennedy 3-1 in sets. And the girls are off to play Valley Christian in the quarterfinals. We will have those results for the show next week. Good luck, girls. Keep making that run at the CIF Championship. And finally, the boys football team, they played Trinity Classical Academy in Valencia, and they beat them 47-7. Good job, everybody. Keep taking care of business, and good luck next week. And now for the upcoming schedule. The boys football team takes on Arrowhead Christian at Arrowhead Christian, and this is their last regular season game before the playoffs. So good luck and go win the league championship tonight. At the time of this recording, the girls volleyball team is taking on Valley Christian in the quarterfinals. When they move on to the semifinals, they'll be playing Saturday, October 28th, and the CIF finals are going to be taking place on November 3rd or 4th. Good luck, good job, and we are hoping and praying for you all to advance into the next round. Go Eagles!
Hey everyone, we invite you to come see Bye Bye Birdie on Thursday, October 26th through Saturday, October 28th, and support the CVCS Theater Department. It's set in the 1950s and stars Conrad Birdie, an Elvis-like music star headed for the Army. You don't want to miss it.
On the show this week, we have Adam Juarez. Adam serves as an area representative for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes organization. He is the lead representative for CVCS and also serves local high schools in the area. Adam himself is a proud alumni of CVCS, graduating from here in 2017 and then going to Cairn University to play baseball. In the 5 years he was at Cairn playing baseball, he graduated with a bachelor's in youth and family ministries and a master's in business administration. I work with Adam coaching a local youth baseball team, and he is well loved by all the players. He is an enjoyable guy to be around and has an uplifting personality that will brighten anyone's day. Adam, it is an honor to have you here on the show with us this week. Thank you for your time. Could you start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do for FCA?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Grady just said, my name's Adam Juarez. I'm actually a CVCS alumni, graduated back in 2017, played baseball here for 4 years. And I went to an East Coast school for college out in the greater Philadelphia region of Pennsylvania called Cairn University, and played 5 years of Division III baseball there, and got two degrees, my undergrad in youth and family ministries and my master's in business administration. And what I do for FCA, well, what does FCA stand for? You're probably asking if you don't know. FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We are a Christian-centered sports organization that goes to public, private, high school, college campuses to spread the good news of Jesus on those campuses. And so I personally am a area representative in South Orange County for FCA and part of a larger Orange County team here in FCA.
Awesome. And then you mentioned that you were an alumni. Could you shed some light on what your experience here at CVCS was like and what it's like working with kids and maybe talk about some improvements that you've seen the school take over the past few years?
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, 2017 feels like a long time ago. It was a really long time ago. Spending 5 years in college, that's a long time itself. And my experience here at CVCS was actually really great. The school has changed significantly in a lot of different ways since 2017 in my 4-year span here at CVCS. And there's been a lot of great improvements to the school. A lot changed. Like after I graduated, they got the new batting cages out in the field back there. They got the new turf, the new logos, everything right after I graduated. Of course, right after I graduate. So, which is not a big deal, but it was just really, really cool to see the school take huge steps forward, because back when I was at CVCS from 2013 to 17, the school was just a little old. It kind of felt a little outdated, which was totally fine up until Chris Rutt stepped in as the new head of school during my senior year. And it's been really phenomenal to see the way the school has continued to improve all aspects: athletic, education, even the spiritual part of the school, and just really focusing on the communal aspect of CVCS as well. I feel like compared to when I was in high school, I feel like the community itself right now here is actually better than what it was during high school for me.
That is awesome to hear. Always trying to make that 1% improvement and getting better every day, every year. So it's great to have an alumni come back and say that everything is moving in a positive direction, and that stock is in fact rising for CVCS. And hearing the kids and all the coaches and everybody come on the show, and it's just proof in the pudding. The kids are awesome. They're well-spoken. They know what they're doing. And then at the end of it, Christ is in the middle of it. So you can never go wrong on that end. And for your mission is high school athletics, Christian athletes in high schools in the areas. I believe you're here at CVCS and then other public schools. What other schools do you do?
So I'm at San Clemente High School, Aliso Niguel High School, Capo Valley High School, Laguna Hills, and Laguna Beach High School. So those along with CVCS. So 6 schools in total. So I'm at a different high school every single day throughout the week, and just get to dedicate specific days to each school.
Nice. And then back when I was in high school, 10 years ago, I believe, I was part of the Capo Valley FCA club as well. So what is the goal of FCA, and then what goes on during meetings? So the goal of FCA, the overall mission of FCA is to see the lives of coaches and athletes transformed by Jesus Christ and his church. And so what FCA does is, like I mentioned earlier briefly, we go to these high school and college athletes and to these high school coaches and to these college coaches as well. And we go to them. They never have to come to us. And then that last little part, and his church, meaning is that we want to get these athletes plugged into the local church around in the areas that they are in, because FCA is not a church, and we're just there to present the gospel on the campus to those kids and coaches. But the larger picture of FCA too is, we seek to disciple athletes and coaches to grow them in their relationship with Jesus, so that they can take that to their form of sport, whatever it is, and spread the good news of Jesus to their teams, whether it's a athlete or coach. So those are the 2 larger definitions of what FCA does, and it looks different on all the different campuses. Especially private versus public school, and even looks different on certain public schools as well. But it's been a real blessing to be a part of a ministry like this, where it's very athlete centered. Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and me being an athlete myself, playing baseball for 16 years, and so that's the goal of FCA. And did you ask me what goes on during the meetings? Yeah, and then so that's an awesome goal for FCA, and it just rings without all the work that you do. And then during the meetings, I know we had our very own Chach Clemente Bonilla gave the first presentation. And then last week was Coach Bonson, who was also on the podcast last week. So he was a busy man.
Oh, yes, very
busy.
So
what goes on during those meetings, and how do you attract students to come out and meet you guys?
So that's a really good question because, I mean, that also looks very different at a lot of the different schools, even like very different from high school to college. But so, yeah, like you said, like we had Coach Clemente Bonilla Chach come and speak at the very first ever FCA lunchtime huddle here at CVCS, which was super cool. Had over 100 kids show up to that, which was awesome. I mean, praise God for that. I mean, that was really, really awesome to see. And then Bonson absolutely killed it last week. You know, he preached about, or he shared about how, you know, it's good to be it's good to surround yourself with strong people, like not just physically, but also spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and just surrounding yourself with good people who will lift you up and, you know, just encourage you. And with with the meetings here at CVCS specifically, well, for FCA, we call them huddles. But it's just a sports term that we call to these meetings. Like people call them meetings, but the correct definition from FCA is like a huddle. And so the huddle here at CVCS is mainly focused on discipleship because, you know, FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is mainly known as an evangelical organization where, you know, we're evangelizing to public high school kids or public college students. But with here at CVCS, you know, we were able to take that next step and say, hey, these meetings don't have to be purely evangelical because they already get that in their Bible classes. They already get it in chapel. And so I don't want to regurgitate something that they're already getting. I wouldn't want to, you know, kind of waste my time and waste their time. And so it's really cool that we were able to, you know, take that next step and, you know, have the kids learn and not just hear like a lecture, you know, because what I have all of our guest speakers doing throughout this year is like asking them questions from the topic that they're speaking about, because I want them to use their brain and kind of, you know, examine their hearts with where they're at in their walk with the Lord during these meetings. So it's been really cool so far to see the response to these meetings. And another way, a very, very big way we get kids to these meetings is free food. Oh my gosh. It's amazing what food can do to bring people to an event. It's absolutely crazy, whether it's Chick-fil-A, Costco pizza, like that's usually a huge grab for getting kids into these meetings is free food. And hopefully we have enough food, never don't have not enough, or maybe we have a lot more left over. So it usually kind of varies with how many, you know, kids show up and how much food you order.
Nice. And then we have these meetings about once a month here in our nest. And could you just speak to how you might nurture a student-athlete's relationship with Christ outside of that monthly meeting? Is there any follow-up or like a small group?
So not necessarily a specific small group for FCA. There's no like FCA small group after the once a month meeting that you mentioned, but we do have there's two things. We do have an FCA club here at CVCS comprised of amazing student leaders who have just done amazing job just serving and leading in the ways that they already have in such a young stage of FCA being here at CVCS. And that's one way to kind of get more, if you want to put it that way, because that's that's a moment where, you know, we kind of review like what happened, not only that in our meeting, but also kind of like having an opportunity for me, myself, as a minister for FCA to pour out into these kids and to be able to give them God's word in whatever way through a short devotional that I give them at the end of each meeting. So kind of just pouring into them and then filling up their cup so that they can go out and serve and lead the way that Christ wants them to. So the second thing,
that's what I was kind of like. Was there a second? You said two.
The second thing. Yep. Okay. I apologize. The second thing.
Yeah, what's the second thing?
Is so FCA doesn't just happen during lunchtime, during the huddles, like at all of these schools that we're at. FCA also happens on the field with the athletes and the coaches, which is really, really cool. And I've gotten to experience that pretty early on in my FCA journey at Laguna Beach High School. I do a Bible study with the baseball team there with my boss, and that's been really, really cool to see. And that's like another next step that goes after the huddle is maybe there's a team Bible study that the coach leads, or maybe it's a local youth pastor that leads it, or maybe it's me that leads that small small Bible study during or after practice. It's usually like 10, 15 minutes. It's nothing too super long because they're at practice, they're tired, they want to go home, they have homework, maybe their parents are waiting to pick them up. So we usually just keep it really short, and it's like a quick little devotional as well. Typically go through a specific book throughout the Bible, whether it's Old Testament, New Testament, and so that's like the second way is like, it's not necessarily a small group, but it's more of like a Bible study that, can be put together by either myself or somebody outside of FCA.
Awesome. So the two ways is we have a leadership team here on campus and then self-driven teams who want to take that next step in their walk with Christ. So how do students join or get into these leadership opportunities for FCA here on campus?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's super simple. You just have to show up to our leadership meetings when they happen. And when do they happen? Well, they happen on Tuesdays. Not every Tuesday, but it's every other Tuesday. Our leadership meetings happen in Mr. Bond's room. And how would you best get connected with me? Well, a lot of coaches know me here. Like Grady knows me. He can give you my contact info. Clemente, Bonson, Presler, PJ. They can get, or you can honestly ask my mom and my sister because they work here and go to school here. So if there's any of you out there that are interested in serving and leading on campus to see CVCS grow closer to Christ, just be a part of the leadership team because it's a lot of really cool opportunities to, like I said, to serve and to lead in front of your peers and to help expand the kingdom of God, even here at a Christian school like CVCS.
Awesome. Yes, we have lots of resources, and Adam is a Juarez, so one of the many. So we had Sherry on the show a couple weeks ago talking about cheer at the beginning of the season. So the Juarez family runs deep, and we're so thankful to have them. Last question. Students who are involved in FCA here in high school, is there an FCA in college?
So yes, there is FCA at college campuses. I just don't know specific ones outside of Orange County. I know that there are we're at Cal State Fullerton, we're at UCI, and we're at Vanguard University. Those are the three college campuses that we're predominantly on in Orange County. For outside of Orange County, outside of California, I'm not too sure. It kind of varies. I mean, even going to a Christian school myself, I didn't have FCA at my Christian school. So so that's, it kind of varies. There's different necks of the region throughout the U.S. that's, run by different people, and they're just at different college campuses and not on certain college campuses. Oh, we're also on Chapman as well. Chapman University is another one here in Orange County that we're at. Almost forgot to mention that one.
And then working backwards for all of our young listeners, is there an FCA meeting for middle schoolers?
So, throughout the U.S., a lot of different areas have been really good about getting into middle school campuses, but specifically here in Orange County, we're actually in one or two middle school campuses. We're starting to actually inch our way more and more closer into these middle school campuses as we hire more staff. But here specifically in Orange County, like, we're not too present in middle school campuses, and there's not because we don't want to, we just don't have the staff to do that yet. But that's actually like a future plan that all the Orange County directors are kind of putting together right now is getting into more middle schools. I think we're in like one or two middle schools up in Santa Ana or Tustin right now, and so we're looking to get into more public schools here in South Orange County. I mean, I can't get into middle schools right now because I'm at 6 high schools, and that's already a lot itself. But definitely a huge part of the ministry as well as middle school campuses.
Awesome. Lots to look forward to from Adam Juarez on the FCA front as it grows here on campus. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for your time. Thank you for pouring Jesus into these young minds and souls as they point to him in their athletics, and it just shines here on campus all the time. So thank you for all that you do.
Definitely, Grady. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Girls volleyball setters Addi Williams and Shauna McDowell. It is an honor to have you both here on the show this week. Thank you for joining us. If you could just start with, how has your experience been here at CVCS as an athlete, as a student, and just being part of the community?
Well, I would say it has been a definite ride. I've been here for 13 years. I think this is my 13th year, and every year is definitely a new place to be. Like, all the advances, all the amazing things, all the people here, how much it's grown. It's been so much fun. Just like the community here is what really has been just like an amazing part of my journey here at CVCS. So I would say the community and my team and just how welcoming everybody is and how fun it is to be on campus is definitely my favorite part. But how about you, Addi?
I would agree. I've been here for 4 years, and it has been such a blessing. I came from another small private Christian school, but this one, just the community, like Shauna said, is fantastic. The coaches are like mentors and just like inspiration and influence in your life. And every teacher like wants to get to know you and they want to get to know you and they want to help you grow. And that's definitely been like a huge aspect.
The volleyball season has ended. You guys had a perfect 12-0 ending to the regular season. In league play, you guys had an unbelievable record, putting yourselves in a great spot for CIF. Can you tell us what some of your keys to success are from the season?
I think honestly the biggest key is how many seniors we have and how much we want to play for each and every one of them, especially as a junior. It's really scary and stressful to look at 6 seniors that have been like a key parts of our team to be gone next year. So I think most of all, like our team that's not the seniors is just honestly playing for them and putting their heart and soul out on the court at all points and just working hard during practice, working hard just in games, and just like always being there for your teammates has been like, I think the biggest key to our season this year, and just like one of the biggest reasons that we want to go far is for them. So I would say that.
Shauna's response was great. I mean, as a senior, we want to play for each other. This is our last year and everything. But I would say, like, we're not a really tall team. So our coaches have really, like, put their whole heart into our team and just made us, like, who we are. Our defense is incredible, and our serving is what gets most teams. So that's coming more from, like, the skill level. But like Shauna said, like, we're all playing for each other, and we just want to win. We've done this 3 times and gone to the finals. It's time to win a ring. So
I know, I'm ready to win, not get second place. I think this year is our best year to win, and it's really scary because I don't even want to think about season without the seniors next year. But if we can do it this year, and I think Coach Bond has never won a CIF championship here, so always gotten second place. So I'm ready to win this year, and we have like the best route to CIF I think ever possible. Like we ended up having a tough loss.
We're on like the opposite side of like the bracket.
Yes, I think we're ranked 4th right now in CIF, and we were ranked 1st like a couple weeks ago, and then we had a tough loss to Dana, which was really hard, but then ended up like benefiting us in CIF. Like we have the best route to CIF finals, so super excited about that.
That's awesome. And then Kelly had mentioned that a couple weeks ago, what you guys are focusing in on, she had kind of noted that the height of the team, again, what you guys said is not very there, but what you guys do is you lead each other, you lead yourselves, and you pay attention to detail, practices, games, and you control what you can control, and you're really, really good at that. Could you highlight some of Kelly's strengths and how she has helped you grow in your volleyball career?
I think personally, like, it's not even like skill level. It's like she's brought me just this mental toughness to always have constantly. Her and Coach Katie just constantly like pushing us to be better. And I think it's more of like, yes, she's helped me become just a way better setter in every way possible, but just a better person and teammate has been, that's what she's fine-tuned. It's never been like, oh, it's only about the skills, it's only about volleyball. It's not even about volleyball. For her, it's about how we grow as a team and our community as each other and how we treat our teammates. And being a good teammate is literally the most important thing, and they preach that every single day at practice. So she has just been like the biggest mentor to me and Addi and to everybody else on the team to constantly help us push and just do our absolute best.
Yeah, Shauna said it all right there. Like, there's nothing to say on that one. Like, she is amazing, and she has put everything into our team and into our girls. She has been such an influence and such a Christ-like figure. So
that's awesome to hear. CIF is here. Playoffs are starting. What are some of the things that you are working on as an individual, and then what are some of the things you're focusing on as a team to go get that championship this year? It's your guys' time. Let's do this thing.
One thing that I'm working for myself is definitely my setting. It's always my setting. I mean, there's always something I can fine-tune, especially for my hitters. Like, I want to make it perfect for them. We had a whole discussion about this yesterday at practice, about saying how me and Shauna always love feedback from our hitters. And some of them like get scared of us because like sometimes we're just like so like passionate about our setting, so we come off really aggressive. Yep. But we just want them to tell us what they need, like how we can fix it, so we can just do what's best for them. So it's always fine-tuning my setting and making it better for my hitters. I would say that for sure.
I would probably say about the same thing because we're both setters. I would say definitely setting has been like my biggest goal. That and defense for sure. Just like always, like there's always things that Coach Katie talks about that are like so like I want to get it right. And so if I can do that in CIF and like just do everything I can in defense and setting, I think that's going to benefit our team so much. Especially like Addi said, like we had a practice yesterday where like they were telling us that they're scared of us to like tell us what we're doing wrong and stuff like that, but that's like the best way that we can get better. And I know we need to work on like not looking like we want to kill them, but definitely just like fine-tuning my setting and defense and just honestly being a good teammate is like never having a bad like face, just always fixing my face in every possible way, just like always encouraging our team and never like putting them down. I think that's the best way that we can like make our team go this far.
Yeah, and like Coach Katie says, like as a whole team, I'd say one thing that's going to help us like the most to win championships this year is like the little things. That's something they capitalize on a lot in our practices. And that's whether it includes staying in base, like keeping your foot on the line, or just popping the ball in, hitting the area. All of that has a play in our run. So for sure, the little things.
Yeah, attention to detail goes a long way. The recipe for success is there, and now it's kind of just executing, facing adversity. That's what CIF volleyball is all about. You guys have made this is your third run at it, fourth run, third run?
Third, right?
Freshman year. We didn't have a freshman year.
That's right. So
first place in the league with our one game that we played.
Yeah, so third run at CIF, finalist 2 years ago, last year quarters. Semis, and so now it is time. And so the recipe is there, the experience is there. You guys, Shauna and I came in the same year, so this is my third year teaching. She's a junior, so even the buzz on campus about the volleyball team that was phenomenal was we were young, and that there was so much room for growth and seeing what you guys would be able to produce in that long stretch of time, which is now. And so it's exciting to see how well you guys have come and how far you've come, because even from then, did you guys move divisions from...
Oh my gosh. Like, we took such a huge jump. Yeah. When I first started my freshman year, technically Shauna's freshman year too, we started in Division 7. Like, we were really far back. We made it up to Division 5, and now we're in 4. Mm-hmm. So in the past 3 years, we have moved up
3 divisions.
3 divisions.
And what stinks is next year, if we do win this year, we're probably going to be in D3, and we're going to lose 6 seniors, which honestly, next year we're still going to have a team. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, we're going to be terrible, but it's going to be definitely different. Which will be
some growth.
It's just
people are going to step
3
up.
divisions.
Yes.
3 divisions is a lot of moving up in 3 years. Like, that doesn't usually happen. Yeah. It's like a blessing in disguise, I guess.
Exactly.
There's good and bad things to that. So.
Yeah, now you guys are starting to get challenged. Baseball got the same thing. When I was coming in, I think we were D4, and now we're on the cusp of becoming D1. And so, the jump is real. The CVCS athletics are competing with the best of them on every facet, on every field, and it's really encouraging to see how much you guys have grown, what the tradition of winning is, and the tradition of excellence. Not necessarily winning, but excellence is, I think, the key that Coach Bond was talking about. And now Sean had mentioned where it's not just about volleyball, it's about the person and it's about the team. And I think the strive for excellence there is seen, and you guys are just reaping the benefits of your guys' hard work. Last question for you guys. How is your team and your community at CVCS to help you grow in your relationship with Christ?
I would say first, my community at CVCS. I think it's just been incredible. Like the Bible and just everything we do, especially this year, having my dad as a teacher has been so much fun because we're reading his book right now, and it's just like going through the biggest questions that we have as teenagers in our world today. And it's honestly like the discussion is, everybody is so focused and wants to learn and wants to grow in their relationship with Christ, which I think is such an important thing because honestly, some schools, it's like, it's just there instead of actually like living it out. And I think that especially the teachers, they constantly are just asking me how I am and how I am with my relationship with Christ in the chapels. And now we have like the singing and praise and worship, which I think is an amazing aspect of our school now, has been amazing. So
yeah, all throughout our day, I mean, there's Christ, like showing through. I mean, whether you're at practice, like Coach Bond is always preaching God's word. Bible class, there's praise and worship now, which is a great add to our day. So definitely say like all the opportunities we get to like see him in our lives and like hear his word, because not a lot of schools get that. Like Shauna said, like public schools, they don't get that as much, so it's a super big blessing.
Yeah, the public schools definitely don't. And then a lot of schools are just Christian in name only. And so one thing that I love about this school and getting more and more intertwined with the fabric of the community is just like Christ is truly at the center of everything that we do. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast this week. We're excited to see how far of a run you guys make it, CIF finals, states, and beyond. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck.
thank you for having me.
And that's it for this week. Thank you to Adam, Addi, and Shauna for coming on the show, and thank you all for listening. Please give the CVCS Athletics Podcast a follow, a like, a subscribe, and a rating. You can find us on all the major podcast streaming services such as Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Please visit the CVCS Podcast Network website at cvcs.org/podcast for all the shows for CVCS. As for this week, Eagles Country, let's fly.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK-12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.